Very good evening, everyone. We'll start with this internship meeting. So, first person is Kuldeep Kumar. We will go in order of raised hands. Okay. So, Kuldeep Kumar, please.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, very good evening. What is your topic?
Sir, control structure in JavaScript.
Okay, please start.
Sir, my screen is visible.
Yeah, it is visible. You can start.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kuldeep Kumar. I am from Full Stack Web Development Group. And my today topic is control structure in JavaScript for presentation. And these are the topics that I will be covering in next slide. So first is if else. If else is conditional statement where we want perform some action for some condition. So basically, if the condition is true, then the statement will execute. Otherwise, the statement will escape. So this is flowchart. This is a test expression. If condition is true, then the body of if condition will execute. Otherwise, if condition is false, then body of if condition will be executed. So this is example of if else condition where we check a number is odd or even. So first we declare a variable which so first we declare a variable number which will store the input, and the second line it will convert string to integer. Let's say we enter a number 8, so parse int will convert it is from string to integer, and then if condition will check is nan is basically check that enter input is number or not. So here 8 is number, so this condition will be false, and we enter in else if condition. So basically 8 is not equal to 0. So this statement will not be executed, and we enter in second else if condition. So 8 here, if number is odd, then we get a remainder. So 8 is basically 8 divided by 2. The remainder we get 0. So this condition will false, and we enter this else part. So basically the number is even. So we get output as the number is even. Next is switch statement. Switch is used to perform different action on different condition. So this is a condition. If condition is true, then we check different based on different condition. If case 1 condition is satisfied or true, then we execute case 1 block. If case 2 is true, then we execute. If condition case 2 is true, then we execute case 2 block. If none of these cases true, then we simply terminate the loop and we exit the loop. So this is an example of switch statement. So first we declare a variable which store the input. Here input we have to enter a number between 1 to 7. So switch date, let's say example we enter 1. So switch 1 is condition is true, then we enter in this condition. So the case 1 day is equal to 1. So we print Sunday. If this condition is not true, then we enter the second condition. If this condition is not true, then we enter this condition like this. If none of this condition true, then we print default condition. So here we enter one is case one is true, so we print Sunday. So we next is while loop. First, what is loop? Loop is basically if we want a number of a bunch of code will execute a number of time, then we use loop. So while loop is a basic loop in JavaScript. Basically, it execute a statement repeatedly as long as expression is true. So here this is flow diagram of while loop. So this is a condition where we check condition is true or not. If condition is true, then remaining code will execute. Otherwise, if condition is false, then we will exit the loop. So this is an example of while loop where we printing Fibonacci series. Fibonacci series is basically a sequence in which each term is sum of its two preceding one. So basically here each term is sum of two preceding ones. Like 2 is the sum of 1 plus 1, 3 is the sum of 1 plus 2, like this. So here we declare three variable, number 1, number 2, number 3, and we initialize number 1 is 0, number 2 is 1, because in Fibonacci series it is default, and number 3 is 0. Let's say here while loop is number 2 is less than 10. So number 3 will be number 1 plus number 2. Here number 1 is 0 and number 2 is 1. So 0 plus 1 is 1. So 1 will store in number 3. And here document 3, number 3 is printed. So 1 is printed here. And basically number 1 become number 2. It means number 1 is 1. Number 2 is number 3 because number 2 is 1. So both will be on 1. And next condition, we again check number 2 is 1. It is less than 10. So condition is true. Then again enter in the loop. And number 3 and number 1 plus number 2. Number 1 here is 1. And number 2 is again 1. 1 plus 1, 2. So number 3 will become 2. So we print number 2 here. Like this, 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 5 is 8. 8 plus 5 is 3. In the last execution, number 1 is 8 and number 2 is 13. So here condition is number 2 is less than 10, but 13 is greater than 10. So condition is false. So we exit the loop. And next one is do while loop. It's similar to while loop, but the basic difference is that here we check condition at the end of the loop. So this is flow diagram. We enter in do while code. Here we check the condition. Here no. First we at least once condition. Okay, the loop is executed at least once because we are checking the condition at last. So let's say example here I is equal to 0. So we are not checking condition. So first we enter in the loop. So I is printed. So here 0 is printed. And then I is incremented by 1. So I become 1. Then we check the condition I is less than 5. So 1 is less than 5 is true. So 2 will be printed. Then I is incremented by 1. So I become 3. 3 is less than also 5. So 3 will be printed. Like this 4 and 5 will be printed. Or here 5, I become 6, I plus plus. So I become 6. So joki condition is false. So we terminate the loop. And last one is for loop. So for loop includes 3 important parts. First one is initialization pass. So here you can see expression 1 is initialization part. Second is test condition. So expression 2 is the test condition part, and third is iteration, where we increment or decrement whatever. So third one is iteration part. So this is a chart. So first is initialization part, expression one, and then we check the condition. If the condition is true, then we enter in the body of loop. Then again iteration part. Then we again check the condition. If condition is true, then we enter in the body loop. If condition is false, then we terminate the loop and we exit from the loop. Here it is this is the example of for loop. So first we initialize I, a variable I, and then this is I less than 5, this is the conditional part, and I plus plus, this is a increment part. So first console.like, so I will be printed 2, then again I is incremented, so I become 3. Then we check the condition, 3 is less than 5, so we enter in the loop and 3 will be printed. Again I become 4, then we again check condition, which is I is less than 5, means 3 is less than 5, this condition is true, 3 will be printed. Again I become 4, 4 is less than 5, so 4 will be printed. Like this, 5 is equal to 5, so condition will true, and we enter in the loop and 5 will be printed. Here I become 6, 6 is greater than 5, means condition is false, then we terminate from the loop. Thank you. If you have any question, then we can discuss.
Are you done with the presentation?
Sorry sir.
Are you done with the presentation?
Yes sir. Yes sir.
डेमो इसके अंदर इंक्लूड किया है क्या?
Yes sir, कोड इसमें ही है.
अच्छा, अलग से डेमो. ठीक है, चलेगा चलेगा. तो पीपीटी आपका सही है, कंटेंट सही है, ठीक है. एक्सप्लेनेशन जो आपने किया, फ्लो चार्ट यूज किया, वो भी सही है, बट फॉर्मेटिंग के पर हम लोग वर्क कर सकते हैं, ठीक है. पीपीटी थोड़ा और वेल फॉर्मेटेड रहना चाहिए था, और स्टार्टिंग में थोड़ा कॉन्टेक्स्ट देना चाहिए था. ये आप टास्क क्यों कर रहे हो, किस लिए कर रहे हो, आप डायरेक्ट इफ एल्स के ऊपर जंप कर गए, ठीक है. तो उसके ऊपर एक थोड़ा वर्क करो, कॉन्टेक्स्ट के ऊपर थोड़ा एक इंटरेक्टिव सेशन बनाओ कि हम लोग जो मतलब इफ एल्स सुनेंगे या फिर कुछ भी करेंगे तो उसका कुछ यूज होना चाहिए, ठीक है. क्यों कर रहे हैं उसके ऊपर दो, ओवरऑल डिलीवरी के ऊपर करो, बाकी सब आपका सही था, ठीक है. कंटेंट आपका बहुत सही था.
ठीक है, ओके, थैंक यू.
ठीक है, और नेक्स्ट टाइम थोड़ा कंक्लूजन और रेफरेंस के ऊपर भी एक स्लाइड ऐड कर देना, ठीक है.
ओके सर.
हाँ, Q&A डालना सही है, बट रेफरेंस और कंक्लूजन भी ऐड करो. Okay, we'll move on to next person. That is Abhishek.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, very good.
Some audio and video is clear?
Yeah.
Okay. So my screen is visible?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. So good evening, everyone. I am Abhishek Singh. I am presenting my task implementation Caesar Cyber in Java. So today's our agenda was about classical inscription methods and about Caesar Cyber and algorithms of Caesar Cyber and implementation. So moving to first topic, the classical inscription method. So basically there are two main building blocks of all inscription techniques are substitution techniques and transposition techniques. First is substitution techniques. Substitution technique is a one in which the letter of a plain text are replaced by a other letter or by a number or by a symbol. In substitution technique, if a plain text is viewed as a sequence of data, then the substitution involves by replacing a plain text with the cipher text pattern. So following are subtypes of substitution techniques are Caesar Cyber, uh, uh, monoalphabetic substitution, Playfair cipher, Hill cipher, polyalphabetic cipher, one-time cipher. So moving to next, transposition technique. So transposition technique is a cryptography technique in that it converts plain text into a cipher text by performing a permutation in plain text. Rail fence and row column transposition are subtypes of a transposition technique. So example of a transposition cipher. So here we put our plain text in a row by row form in a matrix like a T, R, A, N, S, or so on. And afterwards, we have to rearrange them with a keywords is given like 4, 3, 1, 5, 2. We will rearrange them in a column format like N, I, X, A, S, and R, so on. So after that, we have to read them in a column by column for us for finding a cipher text. So moving to next slide is a Caesar Cyber. So Caesar Cyber technique is a earliest and simplest technique of inscription. It is a simpler type of a substitution cipher that is each letter of a text is replaced by a other letter that is given in a fixed number, and the Caesar cipher is also called as a Swift cipher. So next, algorithm of a Caesar cipher. So basically, in a mathematical, each letters are have a fixed number, like A represents 0, B represents 1, C represents 2, so on till Z represents 25. So the formula of inscription phase with a Swift n is a En equals to X plus n mod 26. X is represents the plain text of inscription and n represents the Swift value. In description, the X is represents cyber text and n is represents Swift value. Moving to example, here we can see that Swift value is 3. So A is replaced by D, and B is replaced by E, and C is replaced by F, and so on. So example, like if our plain text is given from A to Z, and Swift value is 23. So A is replaced by X, and B is replaced by Y, and so on. It will continue. And next next example is if a text is attack 1, so Swift value is 4. So here first is A, right? So A is replaced by E and T. Then T is replaced by X, so on. So moving to next slide, implementation. So here I have just imported a java.util.scanner, and I have created a class Caesar Cyber, and I have give a constant global variable alphabet. In that I have stored alphabet letters from A to Z, and I have created a inscript method. In that there is 2 parameters, plain text and Swift key. And I have give a string Cipher text which is a null, and I have created a for loop. In for loop, that it converts a plain text number associated with a cipher text. Like it will return us a number like 10, 3, 5, and so on. And next, description. I have created a description method. In that there is a 2 parameters, cipher text and Swift key. Cipher text in description, I have created a for loop. In that it converts cipher text into associated with cipher text, and after that a main method. I use a scanner for a user input. For it converts a plain text and cipher text for in a letter or alphabet form. So here we can see our output. If a user enter input like a hack Veda internship, so it will return an inscription value and a description. So concluding session, Caesar Cipher is basically a cryptography which used to substitute a letter uh, and a text into a secret and convert a text into a secret form for a more understandable and a key form. So the following references, if you want to know more detailed about, you can refer following references. So demo. This is my following code. I've used a NetBeans. So if I run this code, so it will ask me about input. So I enter a hack Veda and enter it. Then it will provide me an output that in inscription and description plain text. So thank you for listening me. That's all from my side.
Okay, so it was a good presentation, I would say. Could have been better. Focus on your expression skill. Other than
Okay,
that,
sir.
I believe you covered all the important points. Although you didn't have a Q&A slide, next time include a Q&A slide. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Other than that, it was okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So we'll move on to next person. That is again Abhishek Singh. Is that your second one? Abhishek Singh. Hello, Abhishek Singh 5950 Abhishek Singh.
सर ये मेरा ही है सर, मैंने दूसरे डिवाइस पे
Okay, please lower it. Okay, then Devendra Dashlinia. Hello, Devendra. I have unmuted you. Hello, Devendra.
Hello.
Yeah.
Good evening, sir.
Sorry.
Sir, this is my Android device. Please unmute my desktop device.
Join from only one device. Okay. Yeah, I have unmuted you. Start the presentation. Okay, we'll then skip you. Abhimanyu Kumar.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, please start the presentation.
Sir, can you see my screen?
Yes.
So someone else is sharing. So now can I share?
Start.
Good evening, everyone. I am Abhimanyu Kumar from Cloud Architect Intern Group. Today, my topic of presentation is Linux instance on AWS EC2. Yeah, so EC2 instance expands to Elastic Compute Cloud, which is a web service which provides us to create various operating systems on a cloud. On AWS. So we can create like Amazon Linux, Ubuntu, Windows, and many other operating systems using virtual private cloud. It allows us various security features and control over our network environment. So for creating an EC2 instance, we need to follow 5 steps. First one is to launch an EC2 service under AWS services. Then we need to assign a AMI template, which is Amazon machine image. So in this task, I have assigned as Kali Linux. Depend on your use, we can assign anything like Windows, Ubuntu, and any suitable. Then we need to define an instance type. I have assigned it as t2.micro. There are various other instances like t3.micro and uh, generally instance type is like we can for configuring storage. T2.micro has around 20 GB storage. Depend on uses, we can assign like T3.micro or other instance types. Then we need to assign the name of key pair. Assigning name of key pair depend on us. We can assign any name on each of our use. Then we need to define volume size, which is like how much size that operating system should use. Minimum is 8 GB. We need to assign more than that. Here are some screenshots, like one is for how we assign the key pair name. We can download key pair also. Then second image is of configuring storage, where we can configure our storage. This is a screenshot of a summary. I can show you the demo. Can you see instances?
Yes.
Yeah. So here is one instance I have created that is Hackway the environment. Here is the summary of instance. Like if we want to connect through other systems, we need to use the public DNS. And if other user have our DNS, then he can also connect through this environment. This is a, here we can see this platform is Linux, Unix. We can define any of suitable AMI. So there are some advantages and disadvantages of EC2. Like EC2 allows us to easily scale up, like depend on our use, how many traffic is there on the network, we can scale up or scale down. Like if there is a huge traffic, we can scale up the instance traffic. It requires manual intervention. There are some disadvantages like working on AWS is a bit complex. We need a knowledge about AWS to work on it. And second thing is cost effective. Maybe cost can quickly add up if we do not manage the right instance type. Conclusion, I'd like to say that EC2 offers various flexible, scalable, and reliable infrastructure for running application and workload. But we need to keep in mind like the cost. We need to properly manage. Like if there is no use of our instances, then we should stop it unnecessarily. If it is running, then cost will go up. In my case also, I was using free tier, but I didn't stop earlier. So it caused like big problem for me also. Here are the references. So if you guys have any questions, you can ask. Thank you, sir. This is.
Okay, so thank you for your presentation. It was a good presentation, I would say. Your presentation skills have improved from last time, I would say. You have improved again. Okay, but as you improve more, I want more in-depth presentation. Do more in-depth research on it. It was only, I would say, a beginner level thing. Okay, have more in-depth. Suppose if I say that I have an infrastructure at my company, okay, then
Yes, sir. Yes,
how
sir.
can EC2 be used against that? What are the main core features? What are the core features provided by that? What are the advanced features provided by the EC2? Okay,
Yes,
because
sir.
see, starting some presentation it was okay with the beginner, but as you move on, as you do more presentation, we want more and more in-depth topics, right? Okay.
Oh, okay, okay, sir.
Okay, so do more research. Whatever was there, it was fine, but next time
Oh,
I want more in-depth research. Okay, it
oh,
should
okay, sir.
look like a a professional grade presentation where we are not working for a beginner level presentation. You are supposed imagine that you are giving presentation to someone who is already familiar with the ECP. Then how
Yes,
you
sir.
will give them, right? Okay, this will not be useful to them, someone who already knows how EC2 works. This is
Yes,
just like a definition to them.
yes,
So
sir.
as you move on, because you have already given some beginner level previous, but as you
Yes, sir.
move on slowly and slowly, we will increase the level. Okay. It
Okay,
was
sir.
okay for
Sure, sir.
today, but next time have more in-depth knowledge. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank
Okay, Phil, then I hope your issue is not solved. Devendra. Yeah, please share and start. Hello. Hello, can you hear me? Your voice is not audible, Devendra.
Hello, sir, can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Sir, are you hearing me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. You can start and continue. No, you are again inaudible. Fix your mic.
Sir, today my presentation is a DRDO scientific cryptography and crypto analysis. So can you hear me?
Yes,
Hello, sir, can you hear me?
yes, yes.
Okay. Sir, today my presentation is a DRDO scientific cryptography and crypto analysis. Sir, DRDO stands for a Defense Research and Development Organization. So DRDO is a established in 1958, and it is a work on the many field like aeronautical, armament, electronics, and land combat engineering, life science, material and missiles, and so on. I can move on the next slide. SAGE, SAG. SAGE is a stand for the Scientific Analysis Group. This is a work on the information and a cryptography field, and it is a develop of the contemporary mathematics and computer science and electronics of communication information security. Cryptography. Cryptography is a method for the protect the information and communication through the user of code, so that uh, only those for whom information interest can read and process it. In computer science, cryptography refer to secure information and communication techniques derived from the mathematics and concept. Like a simple mean of the cryptography. Uh, I say example of Rahul sending a message his friend of the Ram, and it is a it is a wishing for the no interrupt of the third party, not interrupt of the third party persons. This is a method of the called as a cryptography. Cryptography is a three types. Basically, is a three types. First is a symmetric cryptography, and third is a second is a hash function, and asymmetric cryptography. Symmetric cryptography, it is an encryption and system where the sender receive of message use of the single common key to interrupt or decrypt the message. And symmetric key system are faster and simple, but the problem is that sender and receiver have to do someone exchange of the key and secure of the manner. The most popular symmetric key is a cryptography system is a data encryption system, the hash function and the hash function. There is a no uses of the any key and the algorithm. The hash function value is a fixed length calculate as per of the plain text, and which is max of the impossible content to the plain text. And the many operating system use of the hash function, like many MNCs use of the hash function. So it is a protect your password and asymmetric key cryptography. Under this system, and pair of the used to encrypt and decrypt information. A public key used to of the encrypt, and private key used for the description. Private key and private key are a different event. If public key known by the anyone tested and receiver decode of because alone and known as the private key. I move in the next slide. Application of the cryptography. It is a work on the many application, but I mention of this some popular applications. First is like of the digital currency to safeguard of the transaction and prevent of the fraud, and digital currencies like Bitcoin also use of the cryptography. Complex algorithm and cryptology case are used to safeguard and transaction, making nearly hard of the temper and forest of the transaction. Secure web browsing, online browsing security is provide of cryptography, and while of the shield used for the event dropping and man in the middle assault. Public key is a cryptography and used for the secure and socket layer, and the transport layer security protocol and encrypts of the data between the web server and the client established in the secure and channel of the communication. And third is electronic signal. Electronic signal is server to digital and equivalent of the handwriting signature and are used of the documentation. Digital signature are create of the using of the cryptography and can validate of the using of the public key cryptography. If many of the nation and electronic signature are even forced by law, and they are of use this expanding of the quickly. Authentication. Cryptography used of the authentication in a many different situations, such as of the accessing a bank account and logging into the computer using a secure network. And cryptography method are employed by a authentication protocol to access of the right resource end to end, and for the end to end encryption. End to end encryption is used to protect two-way communication, like a video conversation, instant message, and email, even if the message is encrypted. End-to-end encryption is widely used of the communication apps like of the WhatsApp and Signal. It is a provide of the high level security and privacy its user. I'm moving on the next slide. Advantage of the cryptography. Access control. Access control means is a cryptography can use to of the access control and ensure that only parties with proper permission have a access and resources. Only those with the uh, correct and descripts of the access the resource and thank to encryption secure of the communication. For the secure online communication and cryptography, it is a crucial and it's a offer to secure of the mechanism and transmitting of the information like a password, bank account number, and other sensitive data. Uh, our internet protections against attack. Cryptography aid to the defense and against various of the type of the assault, including replay and man in the middle attack. In the offer of the strategies for spotting and the stopping the assault compliance with the legal requirement. Cryptography and assist form of the meeting and varieties of legal requirement and include of the data protection and privacy of the legislations and cryptoanalysis. So cryptoanalysis is the techniques of the examine of the cryptography system for the flow of information leakage. And cryptography commonly thought of the searching for the flow in cryptography core mathematics, but invoke of the looking for flow in the implementation, such as side of the channel and attack of the big entropy input. Types of the attack, like a 5 type of the attacks. None of the plain analysis and choose plain text analysis and cipher text only of the analysis, man in the middle and adaptive chosen of the plain text analysis. So my flow chart is firstly I already say of the example. So Rahul sent the message of the his friend of the Ram. Ram in the receive this message is exactly, but not interrupt of the any third party person. So plain firstly Rahul is a send of the plain text. So this is a method cryptography. This method is called sorry sir ciphertext send of the interrupt of the many. It is a secure manner to security to use this method of the cryptography and a crypto analysis of the sending of the plain text. Now of the conclude my topic, cryptography is that the secure communication and presence of the third parties. And cryptography is used to variety of the application and include email and files sharing and secure of the communication. It is objective to make of the difficult and ever on the advanced dropper to understand and the communication. Cryptography is that of the powerful tool of the secure communication, but it is a not perfect. And there are the member of a way to attack of the cryptography system, and the new attacks are constantly begin discover of the cryptography. Cryptography important part of the security, and it is a no only factor of the consider. So my reference is a Geeks for Geeks and a Tech Target, and thank you.
What was your topic?
So my So my topic is cryptography analysis and cryptography.
Cryptography analysis and but I can see it says scientific analysis group DRDO.
Yes, sir.
Learn about scientific analysis group DRDO, right?
Yes, sir.
Can you show me the task email?
Task email. Okay, sir.
Task email दिखा दो.
Okay, I can show. So please wait. Sorry for the loading.
I can only see your PPT.
Yes, sir.
I can only see your PPT. Show the Google Chrome. You have to share the screen again.
This is sir.
No, show your email.
Okay, sir. I showed it.
Share the screen again.
Okay. So it is visible.
Yes.
Sir, sorry, sir, but this is my email is not login of the my device. Can I share my screenshot?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, sir. Wait. So sorry for the waiting. So this is visible.
Yeah, it is visible. Okay. I believe you got tasked for the SCG, scientific group analysis. Okay, but you have given presentation for crypto analysis. That is a different task.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we have to confirm it. Okay.
Sir, but it is a cryptography and crypto analysis task allotted me.
See what is the title. Learn about scientific analysis group DRDO. There is nothing about crypto analysis. Okay. Where is your task email? You must have received a task email, right? जब तो
Yes,
तुमको
sir.
टास्क मिला होगा तो टास्क का ईमेल भी आ रहेगा ना, वो बताओ। ये तो प्रेजेंटेशन का ईमेल होगा, टास्क का ईमेल दिखा दो एक बार।
Yes, sir. Okay. Okay.
सर्च कर लो ना, जीमेल में रहेगा तुम्हारे पास, एक्वेदा करो, मिलेगा।
So I can check, please. Right.
ये अच्छा।
So this is my task.
It says learn about scientific analysis group DRDO, ओके। और तुमने क्रिप्टो एनालिसिस के लिए दिया है प्रेजेंटेशन। तो
Some
प्रीवियस प्रेजेंटेशंस है ना जो ट्रेलो के ऊपर ज्वाइन किए, उसके अंदर जाके देखो एसएजी का क्या प्रेजेंटेशन दिया है बाकी लोगों ने।
सर मेरे को यही प्रेजेंटेशन मिला था सर।
अच्छा,
जी सर।
वही बोल रहा हूँ ना, ये तो एसएजी का हो गया, तुमने क्रिप्टो एनालिसिस पे दिया है। क्रिप्टो एनालिसिस का अलग प्रेजेंटेशन है, एसएजी का अलग प्रेजेंटेशन है। ठीक है, इसको कंफर्म करो, ट्रेलो के ऊपर जाके प्रीवियस ये चेक करो, ठीक है।
ओके।
उसके अंदर देखो एसएजी का लोगों ने कैसे दिया है। ये मार्किंग क्रिप्टो एनालिसिस के ऊपर दे देंगे तुमको, ठीक है।
ओके।
जो टॉपिक रहेगा एसएजी नहीं रहेगा, वो क्रिप्टोग्राफी क्रिप्टो एनालिसिस करेगा मार्किंग का टाइम, ठीक है, जब कल तुमको स्कोर मिलेगा तो।
ओके सर।
ओके। और अदर देन दैट रिव्यू के ऊपर जो तुम्हारा एक्सप्लेनेशन के ऊपर तुमको वर्क करने की जरूरत है, कि बेसिकली तुमने मोस्टली रीड किया स्लाइड से, बस एक अच्छा सा एक्सप्लेनेशन दिया था और राम श्याम का जो तुमने एग्जांपल दिया था, बाकी सब तो आई बिलीव तुमने सिर्फ एक्सप्लेनेशन रीड किया उसमें, ठीक है। उसके ऊपर थोड़ा वर्क करो और थोड़ा कम टेक्स्ट डालो प्रेजेंटेशन के अंदर, पॉइंट वाइज रखो उसको। बहुत विजिबिलिटी बहुत बेकार थी तुम्हारे स्लाइड की, कुछ दिख नहीं रहा था, सब कुछ छोटा छोटा दिख रहा था क्योंकि बहुत सारा टेक्स्ट था, ठीक है। अगर ज्यादा टेक्स्ट रखना है तो नीचे देखो ऐड एंड नोट करके रहता है प्रेजेंटेशन में, वहां पे से रीड करके पढ़ लो तो किसी को दिखेगा नहीं, हमको सिर्फ पॉइंट्स दिखेंगे, ठीक है, तो उसमें से देख के रीड कर सकते हो। तो ये सब ट्राई करो, प्रेजेंटेशन स्किल्स इंप्रूव करो। अदर देन दैट मार्किंग का तुमको क्रिप्टो एनालिसिस के लिए मिलेगा, ये वाले के लिए नहीं मिलेगा, ठीक है, क्योंकि ये दूसरा प्रेजेंटेशन है।
ओके सर।
Okay, then we'll move on to next question. You can stop your screen. It is Sudhanshu Kadam.
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
And sir, am I visible?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, sir. I will share my screen. Sir, is my screen visible?
Yes.
Hello, good evening, sir. My name is Sudhanshu Kadam, and my domain name is Design Implementation of Data Science Solution. The task that was allotted to me was to create a Linux instance on AWS EC2. So these are the contents of my PPT. That is what is cloud computing, Amazon Web Services, EC2, Kali Linux, demonstration, and references. So what is cloud computing? Cloud computing is the on-demand availability of computer system resources, especially data storage and computing power without direct active management by the user. Large clouds often have functions distributed over multiple locations, each of which is a data center. Cloud computing relies on sharing of resources to achieve a coherence and typically use a pay-as-you-go model, which can help in reducing capital expenses but may also lead to unexpected operating expenses for the user. So to simply put, cloud computing is the delivery of computing services, which include servers, storages, databases, networking, software analytics, and intelligence over the internet. So why do we usually prefer cloud computing? So if you may not know, it is easy to maintain. It gives us a good performance. It increases the productivity. Also, it is scalable and elastic. So we move on to the next slide. So the next topic is Amazon Web Services, that is AWS. So AWS stands for Web Services. So it is a subsidiary of Amazon that provides on-demand cloud computing platforms and APIs to individual companies and governments on a metered-as-you-pay basis. So basically, when you use a particular service, you can use it, and for the amount of time you use it, you can pay for it later. So oftentimes client use this combination with auto scaling. This cloud computing web services provide various services related to networking, compute, storage, middleware, IoT, and other processing capacity, as well as software tools via AWS server farms. So this free clients from managing, scaling, and patching the hardware and operating system. One of the famous service of AWS is EC2, about which we are going to learn. So EC2 stands for Elastic Compute Cloud. It is a part of Amazon's cloud computing platform, AWS, that allows users to rent virtual computers on which we can run EC2. EC2 encourages scalable development of application by providing a web services to which a user can boot a AMI, that is an Amazon machine image, to configure a virtual machine, which we call, or Amazon calls, as an instance. So the advantages of EC2 is that it has a persistent storage, it has an elastic IP address, and it can be used for automated scaling. So today we will be using EC2 to run a Kali Linux instance. So before that, we would like to learn what exactly is Kali Linux. So Kali Linux is a Debian-derived Linux distribution designed for digital forensics and penetration testing. So Kali Linux is the first open source Android penetration testing platform for Nexus devices, created as a joint effort between the Kali community members, being fair and offensive security. Also, it supports wireless 802.11 frame injection. So next, we'll move on to the demonstration. So as you can see, this is the AWS services, and I have opened the EC2 instance over here. So this was the previous instance which I had created for performing and submitting my task. So today I would like to launch a instance and show you exactly how it's done. So first of all, I would have to put a name tag. So I would put it as my web server 3. So after that, what we have to do is we have to select the AMI, that is the Amazon machine image. So I would like to go and select Kali Linux. So we can type Kali Linux over here, and over here you can see we get the Kali Linux AMI. So I'm going to select that, and I'm going to click on continue. So after this, you can see over here the Kali Linux instance is AMI is selected over here. Then we have to select the instance type. So I would like to go for the T2 micro over here, as it is eligible for free tier. The next part is to create a new key pair. So I'm going to create a key pair. I'm putting the name over here, Kali Demo 6, and create a key pair. So as you can see, the key pair is being downloaded. Next, we will go to the network setting. We already have a rule for the SSH traffic form. I would like to add a new rule. So we are going to click on edit and add a security group. So we are going to enter the port range, that is 80 to 8000 over here, and the source I have selected. So as you can see, this is the new rule that we added, and now I'm going to click on launch instance. So as you can see, the instance is getting launched. It takes a couple of seconds. So as you can see, the instance is launched over here, and I will go to view all instances. So as you can see, the new instance that I created just now has been launched, and the instance state will be running in a few seconds as it is still processing. So once this instance states get running, the EC2 instance that you were trying to create has been created successfully. As you can see, the status is now running. And if you go to the summary, you can get all the details of your EC2, that is the IPv4 addresses, then the IPv4 DNS to which other devices can contact you, etc. So that's it for my demonstration. Uh, I would like to move on. So these were the references that I used for making this PPT and understanding EC2 more. Uh, so that's it from my side. If you guys have any questions, you can go forward and ask. So thank you, sir.
Presentation was good. Okay, but is it related to your domain? Are you from which group? कौन सी group sir?
So data science, design implementation of data science.
ये data science group का नहीं है task.
So actually, I had the similar doubt. So I asked the doubt. So I got the reply that you have to do this task and like
So
some.
tell me who was the person who told you that?
Sorry, sir.
There should be a name, right? When someone enters the chat.
Sir, not actually, sir. I don't remember. Sir, actually, this happened last time also. I asked in the meeting itself to you and Devanshu, sir. So Devanshu, sir, and you said that you have to do the task unless it's not completely different from your domain.
See, the domain needs to be there, right? Because this is like EC2 instance for this. And last time it was Azure. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that changes things. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Wait. Also, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you have given the task and you have asked in the meeting, right? So you
Yes,
will
sir.
get the marks for it. Okay, don't worry. You
Okay,
will
sir.
get marks for it. We'll ask him, but I believe it was not related to you. We'll have confirmed it, but anyway, you will receive marks. Okay, if you have done the task, you have done, you will receive marks. Don't worry about it.
Okay, sir.
See, since I have to confirm it, I can't really give you a review. Okay, you will get the marks, but you will also get your review alongside your marks. Okay.
Okay, sir.
But because that I can only say that it was a beginner level. For a beginner level, it was a good presentation. Okay. Other than that, but in general, with respect to your presentation skills, that I can say that next time when you are creating a PPT, always have a point wise. Okay, don't make it paragraph wise. Okay, and in
Okay,
some
sir.
of the paragraph, I can see that you have just copy pasted some of the things. You have
Okay,
not
sir.
typed it. Okay, that is
Yeah.
because in one of the presentation I can see it says box bracket 4. That is
Yeah.
because of copy paste. Okay, so make sure these things are not included, even if it is not from your domain, or maybe it is because I'm not sure. But next time, with respect to your presentation skills, not with the domain or everything, but with presentation, always have it in the point wise. Okay, then the visibility is much great, and we can easily follow what you are explaining.
Okay, sure, sir. I will make
Yeah.
the changes.
Okay, just show me what was the name of this?
Sorry, sir.
The name of the task. What was it?
Sir, the name of the task was to create a Linux instance on AWS EC2.
Okay, I have noted it. We'll send you marks. Okay, we'll talk to sir. We will send you.
Okay, sir, sure.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
So we'll move on to Rahel Ukirde.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, very good evening.
Sir, is my screen visible?
Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Rahel Ukirde, and I'm from Java Developers Group. The name of my project is developing a RESTful web service, and the name of my task is also developing a RESTful web service. So we'll see the contents of this presentation. First is introduction to REST. Second, we'll see what is a web service, and after that, what is a RESTful web service, and after that, architecture of REST, and after that, HTTP methods. Then we'll also see how to build a RESTful web service step by step, and after that, we'll see the advantages and also the summary. We'll move to the introduction. So firstly, when we want to build a RESTful web service, we need to know what is exactly a RESTful web service. And before that, we also need to know what is REST. So REST is basically an architecture. It follows a architectural approach, and it stands for representational state transfer. And it was developed by Thomas Fielding, who also developed HTTP. In this architecture, every component is a resource, and it revolves around a resource, and these resources can be accessed by the common interface of any application using HTTP standard methods. So as we saw, it is not an it is an architecture and not a protocol. Moving forward, we'll see what is a web service. So a web service is a collection of open protocols and standards. So these open protocols are like instructions which are used to access the web service, and so a web service is used to transfer data between two applications or systems. So even if there is a software where the programming language is different or it is running on different platform, still the web service can be used to transfer the data between these two applications. This process or working of a web service is similar to a inter-process communication in a single computer. Also, a web services is a type of internet software that uses standardized messaging protocol over the distributed environment. So it is used to integrate or change the web application using the architecture or other protocols like SOAP, WSDL over the network. So as we saw, it is used to exchange data between two application or systems. So we can take an example that web services can be used to transfer data or communicate between Java application and .NET application. We'll move to, now we'll see what is a RESTful web service. So web services which are based on the REST architecture are known as a RESTful web services. And these web services uses HTTP methods to implement the concept of REST architecture. So what a RESTful web service does is it defines a URI, which is Uniform Resource Identifier, which is used to identify the physical or logical resource. And also it provides a representation. As we have seen, it stands for representational state. So it provides a representation for the resource, and it provides the representation in the format of JSON and other set of HTTP methods. Now we'll see what is the architecture of REST. So here we can see that here is the client, which is this part, and the server is this part. So The client can be any of these, like a web app, Windows, iPhone, Android, desktop app. So it sends a request, which is an HTTP request. It will use the HTTP standard methods to send a request. And after that, if it has to access the database, it will also access through the database. And again, it will send the response in other formats like JSON or XML or any other format to the client. So this is how the REST architecture works. Moving forward, we'll see. So the main goal of this RESTful web service is to make web service more effective. REST is used and it is more preferred than any other protocol. So this is the reason that REST is used more, and it is more preferable because it is more effective. Now we'll see the HTTP methods. So there are 4 standard methods of HTTP. First one is GET. So GET is used to read a resource, read or access the resource. Second is PUT. It is used to create a new resource. And the third standard HTTP method is POST. It is used to update and make any changes in the existing resource. And the fourth is delete. It is used to delete the resource or remove the resource. So now we'll see the steps to build a RESTful web service. So there are few steps. We'll just see, and we'll also see the demonstration. So first step is initializing a Spring Boot project, and after that it is creating a repository class, and step 3 is creating a controller class, and step 4 is we have to compile, after that build and run, and fifth and the last step is testing the Spring Boot REST API, and we'll use the tool Postman to test this RESTful web service. So we'll see the demonstration. So as we saw, the first step was to create a Spring Boot project. So here we have to see, click on File, New, and after we click, we can see here Spring Starter project. We can create this project, and after that we have to do some configuration. After that, it will create it will create a project for us, and it will also initialize a class for us, which is the RESTful web service application. RESTful web service application class. After that, we need to create another class, and here we now what we have to do is we have to show, we have to see the response. If we are requesting something, so we also want a response in any other format like JSON or XML. So here we have taken 2 variables. One is string variable and other one is int variable. So, and we have assigned it to the this variable name and points. So it will get the name from the user, and after that it will also set name will be useful to set the name of that variable. Also, other variable which we had taken, it is points variable. So this points variable, again, it will take the user input from user, and after that it will also say, using this method, it will also set the value. So, and after that, now we have created this class. Now we have to also see how we can see that in the web page, and that is why we have to create a view controller. So now we have named it, we have created a web controller, and it is named as web controller. Here we have given the values which should appear when we test the web service. So I have given the input, the string input as a Rahel, and the point variable as 60. So now we'll run the a Spring Boot app. We can see, okay, we can see the Tomcat server has started. Now we'll test the web service using the Postman tool, and we have given here the URL, and now we'll send the request. And as we can see, we have got the response in the format of JSON. So that is why REST is preferred other than any protocol, because there are more than one format through which we can see the response. So now we'll see the advantages. So advantages of RESTful web services are that so these web services are platform independent. So without any restriction of any other platform, these web services can be executed. And the second advantage is that it can be written in any programming language. And as you saw, it is platform independent. That is why it can be executed on any platform. So third advantages is that it uses different data format. As we saw, there are more than one formats in which we can see the response. So like JSON, text, HTML, and XML. And the fourth advantage of RESTful web services is that it is fast in comparison to SOAP, because there is no strict specification like SOAP. So like SOAP, there are some strict specification, but as comparison to SOAP, there are no restrictions or specific restrictions in REST. That is why it is faster than SOAP. And these RESTful web services are also reusable. And the last advantage is that they are language neutral. So even if the RESTful web services is used creating different language, it will still give the same performance. It will work as it is, even if it is done in different language. So in the summary, we can see that we have learned how to create a RESTful web services using Spring Boot. Also, we learned about the architecture of REST API and how it works. And also we have at last we have seen that how to test RESTful web service using Postman. So these are the references, and also I've shared the GitHub link as a reference where I've uploaded the project. Thank you. And if there are any questions, then please ask. Hello, sir.